Hey everyone, so today I wanted to update you guys on my everyday makeup drawer for the summertime. These are all of the makeup products I'll be reaching for over the next few months. These are just kind of like my staple day-to-day products as well as products that I'm testing out. So I know there are a lot of products in here, more than I would typically have in like a true everyday makeup bag, but this is basically the top drawer of my makeup collection where I stand and do my makeup. So I like to put everything I want to make an effort to use over the next few months in the drawer in one place. So I'm going to go through and share the products with you guys. I'll put timestamps in the description box below if you guys want to jump ahead, but let's kick it off with complexion products, specifically primers. So one of my go-to primers for the summertime, really like the spring and summertime, is the Farsali Liquid Powder Serum. I tried this last year for the first time, and I do have extremely oily skin. I've been using a lot of glowy skincare products because there are days where I want my skin to look really glowy, but sometimes I really want a matte look when I'm doing my makeup. So this product is perfect because it really mattifies your skin. Now, if you don't want to spend the money on the Farsali product, I don't blame you because it is expensive. I do think it works extremely well, but it's pretty pricey. So there are other oil controlling primers that I like. Now, this one is not a dupe by any means. The formula is a lot different, but I do like the e.l.f. Oil Control Primer Mist. This one is a water-based primer. So if you don't have extremely oily skin or you don't like the feel of a super matte primer, you might prefer this one because it just feels like a very lightweight hydrating water, but it does keep your skin a little bit more matte throughout the day. So I feel like this one is a good option between a really moisturizing primer and a really mattifying primer. I do like the e.l.f. Matte Putty Primer. I like the original too, but during the summer, the Matte Putty Primer will be my go-to because this one does leave my skin a little bit more matte. They just launched a new one. I forget what the exact name is. It's meant for acne prone skin. It's also green, so I think it's supposed to have a little bit of a color correcting property to it, which will actually be perfect for my skin because my skin is generally a little bit red and I also deal with acne. But in the meantime, I do have the Matte Putty Primer, which I've enjoyed for a long time. So I think that this is a good option for the summertime. Now I am testing out a new primer from e.l.f. This is the e.l.f. Jelly Pop Dew Primer. I've been wanting to try this for a while because a lot of people say that it's a good alternative to the Milk Makeup Hydro Grip. And I think that the e.l.f. primer from the Mint Melt collection is a good dupe, but I've heard from a lot of you guys that you love this one. It's been out for about a year and I still haven't tried it. So I'm excited to use it for the first time this month. I'll probably put it on after I film this video because I haven't done my makeup yet. The last primer I'll be using is this one from Tula. It is their Face Filter Blurring and Moisturizing Primer. I've been using this one for probably about a month at this point, and it's so interesting. I've seen people talk about this on YouTube, but the first time I tried it, I was just really like blown away by the texture of it because it's very liquidy. It goes on kind of like a lotion-like serum, and then it just works to blur your skin. It kind of adjusts to your skin tone and it makes your skin look and feel so smooth. So foundation just wears so nicely on top of this. So those are the primers that I have in my collection. I do have quite a few. So let me show you the foundations I'll be focusing on. So I've been wearing this one a lot. This one is the Catrice HD Liquid Coverage Foundation. It's very, very lightweight, which is great for summer because it's not too heavy. It's mattifying. It stays in place really well. So this one has been my go-to. I have the shade Fair Beige. I've also been liking this product. It is the Essence Pretty Natural Hydrating Foundation. Now that doesn't really sound like something that would be good for the summertime, but it's almost like a tinted moisturizer with slightly more coverage. So I think that this one has been great as well. Now I do have the ColourPop Pretty Fresh Foundation, which is just my go-to foundation. I like this all year round, and I do like it during the summer because it is a little bit more lightweight and it stays in place well, but it doesn't feel as matte as other formulas. So I just always have this in my drawer. I am going to be testing out the Soul Body Face and Body Makeup. This is a ton of product. This is 3 fluid ounces. Now I did get this in the mail as PR. I was going to purchase it myself, but they did send me a few shades, and I originally tried on I'm trying to think, what shade is this? This is Fair 2. I originally tried on Light 4, but that one was a little bit too dark for me. If I get a tan, I think it might match a little bit better, but right now Fair 2 is the best option for me. Just for reference, if we have a similar skin tone or you wear the same colors in foundation that I do. So this just sounded really interesting to me. It's a creamy, light diffusing foundation. It's supposed to give you a flawless, soft matte finish, and you can use it on the face and on the body. Let me actually swatch this so you can see what it looks like. So when you initially apply it, it feels a little bit thicker than you think it's going to be. At least, I guess I should say, it felt thicker than I thought it was going to be. But as you blend it out on the skin, it definitely has more of like a sheer more natural look to it. Like I have a lot of freckles on my face. You can definitely see freckles through it. I can't tell if this is focusing. Sorry, my hand looks rough. We are watching my sister's little baby pug and he loves to play. So I feel like my hands are kind of scratched up. But I am curious to actually wear this throughout the day. I've only just actually applied it to my skin. I didn't actually put it through a wear test. So I can do that on camera if that's something you guys want to see. Now, I'm not someone who wears body makeup, so I don't really plan on wearing it like on my body, but the actual formula just sounded like it would wear really nicely on the face throughout the day as well. So I will definitely put it to the test and let you guys know what I think. I think I had this in my everyday makeup for last time. This is the Urban Decay Stay Naked Hydromaniac. It's a tinted glow hydrator. And at first, I thought this was not the best option for my oily skin, but I've been using it a lot lately and I kind of like it. I just make sure to set it with a good powder, and then throughout the day, my skin looks really glowy, healthy, and initially it will look pretty matte because I have a lot of mattifying powders, but this just wears really well on the skin. It looks really good. A lot of you guys also told me that you like to mix this in with more mattifying products. So that's what I want to do during the next month or two and just kind of pair it with other products in my collection because I do feel like it adds a nice hydrating factor to the skin, which I feel like is something I've been embracing a little bit more lately. I don't always want something super intense and mattifying. I think that's it for foundation. I only have 3 concealers, so I have the Too Faced Born This Way. I actually wear this as foundation a lot. It's a little bit dark for me as a foundation. I have the shade Almond, but I think the shade underneath it was a little bit too light. I don't know if they've expanded the shade range. They might have because I haven't checked in a while. I think I used this in a recent Get Ready With Me if you want to see it in action. I'll link that below. I know I use some of these other products as well. I've been using this one as a spot concealer. I don't love it under the eyes, but I do like it as a spot concealer. It wears really well with other foundations on top. And then I just have this little mini Tarte concealer. This is the Ultra Creamy Shape Tape. I'm not convinced that I love this, and I'm not convinced that it's ultra creamy. It's kind of an interesting description. The original Shape Tape is very matte, very long wearing. I haven't worn that one for years, but I was curious to try this one out. And I do feel like there are other hydrating concealers out there that I might like a little bit better, the Too Faced one included. So I need to wear it a few more times. I got the shade Light Sand, which I almost think is a little bit too light for me, but they do have the option to purchase, I think they have, yeah, I got this from Ulta. They have the option to purchase a mini if you don't want to purchase a full size, which I think is a nice way to try it out first. Okay, let's move on to powder. So I do have quite a few powders in here because it is summertime. I have extremely oily skin. I have to set every foundation with powder. Otherwise, it's just going to melt off my skin in a few hours. So my go-to powder is this one, the Too Faced Peach Perfect powder. I always have this in my drawer. It's just a translucent, loose powder. It gives your skin a very smooth look, but it does lock your foundation into place. I think I've been reaching for this one more than the Too Faced one lately. This is the Essence All About Matte Fixing Compact Powder. I usually go through it once a year because whenever summer rolls around, I always reach for this. It's so quick and easy to use because you just use like a large fluffy brush and you can apply this all over your face so fast. I think this is the most mattifying powder that I own, so I do love pairing it with like a really glowy product like the Urban Decay product because while it will initially make my skin look really matte, after an hour, whatever glowy product I have underneath will start to show through. And because this powder is so lightweight, it doesn't look heavy or cakey. It's just a really good, just like fine, smooth powder. So I do like this. The packaging is terrible. It usually breaks on me, but I hit pan on this and my packaging is still intact, probably because I haven't been traveling with it. Usually during the summer, I'll go on like vacation and I'll throw that in my bag and I'll just wear like very minimal makeup and it always ends up breaking because the compact is just pretty cheap, but it's still intact, which is good. The Urban Decay All Nighter is also a summer staple for me. This one is almost gone, so I feel like I'll probably use this up within the next month or two. This one is just a little bit dark for me. It's supposed to be translucent, but on me, it just kind of darkens my foundation just a little bit too much. It's fine once I have a tan, but I wouldn't say it's translucent. It might be better than like the Essence powder. A lot of people say they get flashback with the Essence powder. This one has like a hint of color, so I think it might be more ideal for occasions where you are using the flash, or maybe if the Essence powder leaves a white cast on your skin, you might like this one better. But again, this one does lock your foundation into place and it keeps your skin matte. It is so It really is like a true waterproof powder. If you have extremely oily skin and nothing seems to work for you, try this product because it does work extremely well. So this is the reason why I was so excited to try Urban Decay's new release. This is their all-nighter translucent powder. I definitely wouldn't say this one is as mattifying as the pressed powder. It doesn't lock my foundation into place as well. As I get older, I notice that foundation will really settle into my fine lines. I have like a pretty obvious wrinkle between my brows. Also on my forehead, I have some wrinkles. And when I use this powder, I notice them a lot more than when I use other powders, like the Too Faced powder or these two. So I feel like this one is a little bit more natural looking on the skin. Like it doesn't look super powdery, and I think it does give your skin like a very smooth airbrushed finish. But the problem is my foundation tends to crease a little bit faster. And I think that could be because I have oily skin. If you have dry skin, I just dumped powder in there. If you have dry skin, I think you might like this product because it is super lightweight and it doesn't look very powdery or heavy on the skin. But if you have really oily skin, you might want something a little bit more mattifying. You might want to just stick with the pressed powder. So I just wanted to share my thoughts on that. And then the last powder I have is just the e.l.f. Halo Glow Setting Powder. I have the shade Light. I just use this to kind of like brighten up my skin. I'll use it to diffuse my bronzer. I'll run it under my eyes. It's just kind of like a good finishing powder. Okay, so over here I have all of my cheek products. So I actually have some new cream products I'm going to be testing out, some powder products. Let me start with the creams first. So this year I have been wearing cream blush a little bit. I do like the e.l.f. putty blushes. I think they're just easy to work with and they're not overly creamy, so they seem to stay in place pretty well on my oily skin. I know the name is on the side, but I can never find it. Okay, so this shade is Bahamas. This one is like a really pretty peachy coral. So I put this one in my drawer because I feel like this is just a good shade for everyday wear. And then this lighter pink one is Turks and Caicos. This is kind of like a pinky coral as well. It looks coral, but then next to the actual like orangey one, it looks a little bit more pink. So these are just two of my go-to shades. I also have this Tower 28 blush in the shade Beach Please. This one is pretty dark. I got this as part of a set. It came with this blush and then also this lip gloss. This gloss is in the shade Cashew. If it's still available on Sephora's website, I'll link it in the description box below because it is such a good way to try out these products. They're both full-size products and you can get them for a discounted price. Tower 28 as a whole is a little bit more of an affordable brand at Sephora, but I like this cream blush formula. It's more intense than the e.l.f. formula. You can sheer it out to some extent, but this does show up pretty vibrant on my skin. Let me just swatch it for you guys. So I am curious to try out a lighter shade. I feel like maybe like a light peach would be nice for me for everyday wear, but it is a gorgeous formula. Like it's very pigmented, it stays in place really well. I have two cream products that I'll be testing out. So I told you guys that I've been wanting to get into cream bronzers and cream highlighters because I haven't tried those very much. So Persona Cosmetics just came out with these. They actually sent this one to me. It's their bronze multi-stick. And I have the lighter one. There are two. There's a lighter one and a deeper one. I really don't have any experience with cream bronzers, so I'm not even sure what to expect. I mean, I feel like I'll be able to tell if it blends out well, but I'm just curious to try them out. I feel like they always look so pretty on the skin when I see people use them on YouTube. They just look a little bit more effortless than powder bronzer. Wow, this one feels nice. It feels like it's going to stay in place well because it's not overly creamy or slippery. So I'll keep you guys posted. I'm excited to try this. I feel like it's just something a little bit different for me. This one is the e.l.f. Jelly Pop Glow Stick. So I've actually been using this one. I've been testing it out for the past few days and I love this. I feel like some cream highlighters make my skin look very textured and they just don't layer well on foundation or even on their own. But this one is very lightweight. It's really subtle, but it kind of gives your skin like kind of like a wet, dewy look, which I guess is the point of highlighter, but some highlighters sit on the skin, and this one just almost looks like it's part of your skin. It's so lightweight, so pretty, and I'm impressed by it. So I'm excited to keep wearing this one. And then the rest of the cheek products are products I've had in my collection at least for a little while, except for this one. It's the Ulta Beauty 3-in-1 Cheek Palette, and this one is California Sunlight. A bunch of you guys told me that you like this, so it has a bronzer, a blush, and also a highlighter. I've really been enjoying baked cheek products as a whole, and I don't know, I used to dislike these like 3-in-1 products or 2-in-1 products where one half is a bronzer and one half is a blush. But now I kind of like them because it just gives you a very effortless look. You can blend all of the colors together or use them alone. The other bronzer I have in my collection is the Milani Baked Bronzer. This one has been my go-to for pretty much all of 2020 so far. And then I have 2 blushes from Melt Cosmetics. These are the Digital Dust Duo Blushes. So this one is Queen Bee, which I kind of use as a bronzer. I feel like this would be really pretty on your skin as a blush if you do like more of like a bronzy, glowy blush, but I like glowy bronzers so much, so I feel like it's kind of a good blush and bronzer all in one. I feel like during the summer, a lot of people go more minimal with their makeup, so that might be a great option for you. I also like this one. This one is Raw Honey. It just glides on the skin. It looks really natural. Like it looks like it's part of your skin rather than sitting on top of your skin. So I've been enjoying these. I like that you get 2 shades. I feel like it helps me justify the high-end price tag a little bit more. This one is the M Cosmetics blush in the shade of Faded Clementine. I really like this one. I just want super natural blush. It does have a very pretty sheen to it. It's a nice kind of like baked formula. I don't know, baked products have just been appealing to me a lot lately. So I do love that one. And then I have 2 blushes from Buxom. These are just their Wanderlust blushes. So I have the shade Seychelles, which has been my go-to. It's just like a really pretty, kind of like bronzy, again, like a good blush bronzer hybrid. If you're looking to apply one cheek product, this is such a great option because it does give you that bronzed glow, but it has like a little bit of a natural sheen to it. And then I also have the shade Mykonos, which is just like a really pretty coral. I think this one will be fun for the summertime when I want more of a bright blush. The only highlighter that I have in my everyday makeup drawer right now is just Becca's Champagne Pop. This one is my favorite really all year round, but especially for the summertime when I just want like a really pretty golden glow. Let me show you guys the eyeshadow palettes that I'm going to be using for the summertime. So I have this new one from JCat Beauty. It's not new, it's just new to me. I have been loving this one so much. The shimmers in here are so good, and I'm definitely curious to try out some of their other eyeshadow palettes. This one comes with a matte row, then you get a really pretty foiled row, and then like a true shimmery metallic row. But I love using this as an accent palette. You can do some full, complete looks depending on what you normally go for, but I have been pairing this with a ton of my eyeshadow palettes because the shimmers in here are just so intense and beautiful. So I'm excited to have this one, and it's only $8. It's such a steal. I've really been loving the ColourPop Malibu Barbie palette for summertime. I think the colors are so fun and pretty. You get a bunch of warm tones in here, but you also get some pops of color. These blues are amazing. The pink shadows are gorgeous. I love the corals, the oranges, and the neutrals as well. So I just feel like you get a little bit of everything in here. I guess I'll show you guys the other ColourPop palettes I have. So I have Coast to Coral, which is a really fun option for summer. You get some corals in here, some pink tones, a gold. I just think that this is a very easy palette to work with. I also have the Aha Honey palette, which has a bunch of fun bright yellows. I haven't really worn yellow a whole lot over the past year, so I feel like this will be a fun color to incorporate for the summer season. And then I have this one. This one is Lil Ray of Sunshine. Again, it's a yellow toned palette, but it's completely matte. So this one will go really great with the one that I just showed you, but also the JCat Beauty palette. And I love a ColourPop's matte formula. I just have 2 of these little ColourPop quads. These have been my favorite. Creamsicle has been my go-to. I have worn this one so many times because you can get a very quick and easy, just fun corally look. And then I also like this one, Mocktail, when I want to do a little bit of like a rich look, but I still want a warm toned eye. And you can also use them together. I think that would be really pretty too. I do have 3 of my Natasha Denona palettes. So I recently got the Zendo palette, and I did a video using like the cooler tones for the first time. And a lot of you guys told me you had a very similar experience. Some of you guys told me that you haven't had any issues with it. I think this one really does come down to personal preference because it's not just her matte and shimmer formula. You get some of her creamed powders in here. So this green, this brown, and then I feel like there's another one. I don't know, but those are a little bit more difficult to work with. I am not a makeup artist. I still have a hard time when it comes to some formulas, some techniques. I love to do eyeshadow, but sometimes I can't get everything to work well for me. So I did have some trouble with those. I also had trouble with this one. This one just doesn't blend very well for me. And then yesterday I was using some of the warm tones, and they just, I don't know, this palette doesn't feel as easy to work with as some of her other palettes, like the bronze palette. So for me, if you are new to Natasha Denona and you're trying to decide which one of her palettes to try first, I wouldn't go with this one. I wouldn't go with this one in general. I just don't think I recommend it for $65. I just want to test it out a few more times before I do a full review. That might actually be up on my channel because I'm doing like a new makeup roundup. So if it is, I'll link it below. But I did buy it. I don't actually want to return it because I feel like I am able to get some good looks using it. So I'm going to pair it with two of her other palettes and see what I can come up with. The bronze palette is my personal favorite. This one is just so user-friendly. The matte shadows are extremely blendable. The metallics are easy to work with. You do get one of those like cream to powders, but it's the black shade, which I just don't reach for as often. So for me, I don't mind it as much. I'll sometimes use that in the outer corner, but again, not very often. So this one is my favorite. I do feel like it will pair nicely with the Zendo palette, so I'm excited to try that. And then I also put this one in my drawer. This one is Sunrise. This one has a lot of fun, bright colors in it. I don't use this one as much on its own as I do bronze and even glam. But again, I think combined with the Zendo palette or even all three of these, I could create some really fun looks. So that's why I put those in my everyday makeup drawer. I do have the Warrior palette by Juvia's Place. This one has just like the most perfect neutral color story for summertime. The shadows in here are so rich and intense, and I always pull this one back out during the summertime. I love it. And then I actually got some new LA Girl palettes. I did place an Ulta order, and again, I have an Ulta haul going up. It might actually be up before this video just because I'm kind of filming them out of order. This one actually came in. The other ones haven't come in yet, but I am so excited to try LA Girl shadows. I have heard so many good things about them. First of all, I didn't realize the palettes were going to be so big. When I saw them online, I thought they were going to be not like the 9pan ColourPop palettes, but maybe somewhere in between, but they're pretty big. The colors in here are amazing. Look at those gorgeous colors. There are greens and blues and purples, and I can't wait to try them. I actually want to swatch a couple of these because I haven't actually even swatched it yet. You know how sometimes you can just like look at a shadow and know it's going to be good? That's how I feel about this one. That metallic is so pretty. Let me just swatch a few more of the metallic shades. This one kind of feels more like a topper shadow. It's a little bit more lightweight. I feel like that will go good, or that will go well on the center of the lid. And then this is a really pretty lighter blue. So these swatched really nicely. They just feel like they're going to apply to the eyes so well. I love to apply metallic shadows with my finger, so I feel like that's how they'll end up looking on the lid. Let's swatch some of the matte shadows. I feel like these are going to be, yeah, they're pretty light. I don't know that you're going to get extreme pigmentation out of the mattes, but they do feel very smooth. So these might be more ideal if you like a really blendable shadow. I also think they might be a little bit powdery when you dip your brush in. So, okay, the matte shadows are not quite as vibrant. They're a little bit lackluster, but again, they might have that blendability factor. So I don't know, I'm just excited to try out the formula because I've heard a lot of good things about it. Yeah, I mean, that one looks pretty powdery, that blue one, but the metallics feel amazing. So I'll keep you guys posted once I get the chance to use it. Actually, I just have one more. This is the M Cosmetics Faded Clementine palette. I've been loving this one. It's such a small, like cute little compact palette, but you can do a lot with this. You can get like a true orange look if you stick with the bottom shades. You can do something very pinky. You can do something pretty neutral or more colorful. So I definitely want to try out another one of these. I think she has another one on her website that I can't remember let me actually just check. I can't remember the color story off the top of my head, but after trying this one, I'm impressed by it. So here's Faded Clementine. It looks a little bit different in person. Like in the picture on here, it kind of has like almost marbled shadows, but in person, they're just like true shimmers. And then, oh, okay, she has Magic Hour. This one's pretty. Like it has some really pretty soft pinks, some neutrals. I just feel like I have those shades in other palettes, so I'll probably skip that one. But if she comes out with another one, I might have to grab it because even though it's a smaller palette, I feel like I can do a lot with it. I just have a few lip products I want to share with you guys. So over where I do my makeup, I actually have like all of my lip liners, all of my eyeliners, and go-to lip products in my second drawer. So that's why I don't have a lot of those products in my everyday makeup drawer. But I do separate a few that I want to focus on. So like I told you guys, I have the Tower 28 Gloss. This one is in the shade Cashew. This is my favorite lip gloss formula. It is so lightweight, so comfortable on the lips. It's like a gloss lip oil hybrid, it is perfect. These are the NYX Filler Instinct lipsticks. These are so good. So I've been wearing Beach Casual for about a year, and then recently I got Sugar Pie. I love these. So Beach Casual is so good to layer on top of like any nude lipstick, especially a formula that's a little bit more dry. Let me just swatch these for you. So I think the whole claim behind these is that they make your lips look really smooth and glossy, and they're not like true lipsticks. They have like a very shiny, glossy finish. They're a little bit more sheer. So even though they look intimidating in the packaging, they're not that intense on the lips. So I love wearing this one on its own when I just want like a hint of color. But the nude is my favorite on top of other lipsticks. I've been loving these Bite Beauty lip crayons. These are they have a long name. They're Power Move Creamy Matte Lip Crayons. So these are the 4 shades that I've been wearing quite a bit. I'll actually swatch them for you so you can see what they look like. But I love this formula because it stays in place really well throughout the day, but it's not heavy. It's very creamy, really lightweight, but it's a little bit more long lasting than other lipsticks. I hope this is focused. I can't tell. I have such a hard time getting my camera to focus on the swatches, but this first shade is Sugarcane. This one is like a light pinky nude. I feel like this one is great when I want a brighter color that's a little bit more natural. This one is Leche. This one's kind of close to my natural lip color, so this one is perfect when I want to overline my lips. I want them to look a little bit more full, but I still want it to look natural. This one is Cava. It's a gorgeous, cooler toned mauve pink. So I love this one when I'm doing like very minimal makeup. I'll just wear like foundation and mascara and then throw this one on because it looks a little bit dramatic without being a super dark lip. And then this one is Stinger. It's like a bright reddish coral. So this one is just fun for summertime when I want a really bright, fun, colorful lip. So again, this is like kind of like a matte formula. It has a little bit of a sheen to it, but on the lips, it just looks so natural. It's so comfortable. And then I just have these little lip duos from e.l.f. These are part of the e.l.f. Jen Atkin line. So one side is a lipstick, and then on the other side, you get a matching lip liner. These are just very easy, effortless because you have the matching liner and lipstick. But again, this formula is really good. It stays in place well, which is typically what I look for when I'm wearing lipstick. I want it to stay in place, but I don't want it to be uncomfortable. And this definitely meets that requirement for me. These are the 4 mascaras I'm currently using. I do have a lot open right now, and I really try not to do that, but I'm always testing out different formulas, and I do like to use one formula on my upper lashes, one on my lower lashes. So first of all, I've been using this one. This one is the Tarte Lights Camera Lashes. I tried this one again recently. It had been years since I tried it, and when I initially tried it, I didn't like it because I felt like it was more of a dry formula, and I still kind of feel like this. I still kind of feel like that. Like this one will separate my lashes and makes them look long, but it doesn't necessarily do anything over the top for them. And I really like super intense dramatic lashes. I like volume and length. And I feel like this one is good at lengthening and separating, but I don't get the volume that I really want. So I've actually been using this one on the bottom lashes because that is a formula that I do like on the bottom lashes. I don't want something that's going to make my bottom lashes look clumpy. I've also been using this one on the bottom lashes. It's the ColourPop Act Natural Defining Mascara. This is what the one looks like. It's a little bit bigger. This one, again, is really great at separating. It does give them a little bit of length, but it makes your lashes look more natural. So if you do like more of a natural mascara that's not going to make them look clumpy or heavy or over the top, then you might like this one. And I do like it on the bottom lashes, but I feel like I need something more for the top lashes. I did recently repurchase the ColourPop BFF Volumizing Mascara. And I have to say, I like this more than when I initially tried it. When I initially tried this, I felt like it flaked on me. It smudged on me. It didn't do a whole lot for me. And I don't notice a lot of flaking or smudging with this anymore. So I don't know if they changed the formula or if it's just better than I remember, but I have been enjoying this one. I just recently opened this one back up again, so I need to give it a few more uses before I do like a full review, but I have to say I like it more than when I initially tried it. The reason why I picked that one up again is because so many people have left comments saying they love that. So I figured maybe I just had a bad experience with it and I would try it out again, and I've been really pleasantly surprised. And then I have the Too Faced Damn Girl. I really liked this mascara when it first came out. Was it last year or the year before? I had this in my backup drawer. I really try not to hold on to too many backups, but because I had it, I figured I would use it. And I do like this. It gives my lashes a ton of drama, a lot of volume, a lot of length, but the wand is so big that I feel like it's hard to use. And that's the case with a lot of mascaras lately. I feel like the wands are getting bigger and bigger, and I tend to be pretty messy when I apply mascara anyway. So I feel like when I use this, I do make a mess, but it does give me the drama that I'm typically looking for in a mascara. So I have two liquid liners. I have the NYX Epic Ink Liner and the Urban Decay Perversion. The Urban Decay Perversion is my favorite. I think it will always be my favorite, but I've been enjoying the NYX one as well. I feel like the NYX one comes out very fast, so I tend to make a little bit of a mess when I'm using it, but I do think it is a good alternative to Urban Decay's Perversion. The NYX one is super dark and dramatic, and it does stay in place pretty well for me. I have the e.l.f. Wow Brow Gel, which is my favorite. It gives my brows just like a little bit of color, and it does have fibers, so it makes them look a little bit more voluminous. And then I'm going to be testing out this one. It's the Grande Brow Fill. It is a volumizing fiber gel with peptides and fibers. Okay, I'm having some microphone difficulties. I don't know what's going on with it, but I'm just standing near my camera so I can reach the other mic. So just bear with me for one more second. I'm almost done. This is the Urban Decay Primer Potion. And then I do have the Urban Decay Brow Blade somewhere. I don't know why it's not in my drawer, but I'll also be using the ColourPop Precision Brow Pencil. Okay, so that is everything in my everyday makeup drawer for the summertime. Thank you guys so much for watching. I will definitely do some videos using these products, applying them. You'll see them pop up on my channel over the next few months, along with any other products that I'll be using. But I hope you guys have a great day. Let me know in the comment section below which products you'll be using. I would love to hear from you, and I'll see you guys very soon with a new video. Bye.